Something big is happening between China and Japan right now. China have mobilized their coast guard near Japanese waters, urged Chinese citizens to avoid traveling to Japan, which has caused shares in major Japanese businesses to fall by up to 9% since China are the country's biggest source of tourists. And Japan have clapped back by warning their citizens in China to be careful of their interactions and surroundings, citing safety concerns that they may be targeted. And they even have now indefinitely suspended the release of 2 anime films in China. I'm sorry, when did this get added to the list of countries beefing in the world? Well, apparently this all started because of one statement made by Japan's new Prime Minister, Sanae Takaichi. She implied that a situation where China invades Taiwan would threaten the survival of Japan, and they need to anticipate a worst-case scenario. Now, that single statement pissed off China, and things only got more intense after the Chinese Consul General wrote in a now-deleted post on X, "We have no choice but to cut off that dirty neck." This is believed to be referring to Takaichi. Now, Japan have insisted that the Prime Minister's comments did not mean that Japan have a new stance on Taiwan, that they were just hypothetical, and that Japan wants peace and stability. China are demanding a retraction. So, I'll keep you guys updated as this situation develops. Guys, I don't think you understand how much is about to kick off in the next few hours. So right now, as I'm recording, Trump is meeting with the Crown Prince of Saudi, Mohammed bin Salman, and today they're going to be signing a $1 trillion investment commitment in the United States, which actually rose in that meeting from 600 billion. Just casually, oh, let's just add another 400 billion. What's 400 billion among friends, huh? But also happening in the next few hours, also in DC, is a hugely significant vote from the House of Representatives whether to or not release the Epstein files. And this vote has been stalled for months, only for it to be landed on the same day there is a massive global internet outage. Yes, because also happening right now, you've probably seen it already, the IT company Cloudflare, which underpins thousands of websites around the world. We're talking X, ChatGPT, Spotify, Zoom, Canva, and many more. So many people couldn't access this today. Now, they have said that the problem has been fixed, but many people are still reporting that they can't access certain apps and websites. It doesn't end there. Ronaldo, he is in Washington right now, and he is going to be having dinner and a meeting with Donald Trump literally in the next couple of hours. And they're going to be speaking about the World Cup, world peace, and apparently what they have in common. Love to know what that is. Looking forward to that. But then also it doesn't end there, because Nicki Minaj, she's going to be delivering a speech to the United Nations at their headquarters in New York. What a wild world. She said that she's going to be working alongside the Trump administration to highlight the claims of Christian persecution in Nigeria. All of that happening right now. Holy hell. Guys, I have just arrived to the end of Las Vegas. You want to know what I mean by that? Look. The road just ends. But it's not just the city's borders that go from something to absolutely nothing. It might now also be the entire city. Vegas is dying. That's what people everywhere are saying. And to be honest, the numbers are worrying.
Tourism in Las Vegas is in a big slump this summer, costing the city billions of dollars.
Tourism is down a whopping 11%. June alone saw 400,000 less visitors. Billion-dollar resorts are empty. This is starting to get creepy, don't you think? The Vegas airport is losing hundreds of thousands of passengers. And overall, the numbers haven't been this low since there was a global pandemic. Now, I refuse to believe that this was possible. So I went to go see it for myself. And before I even got to the hotel, I started to see what people were talking about. The 19-minute ride from the airport was $95. The minibar had a pressure sensor. So if you wanted to pick something up for more than 60 seconds, they charge it to your room. And you do not want that. A can of Coke was $12. Crisps were $10. 2 energy drinks ran me back $18. 2 coffees and a cake pop, $28. A bottle of water in Caesar's Palace, $12. A basic sandwich, $17. And that's not even including tip.
Get me out of here.
Heck, money can accidentally leave your pocket in Vegas. While we were there, a mother reported her hotel charging her $224 after her son unknowingly unplugged the weight sensor tray to use the wall sockets. I mean, she should have known. It does say that you'll be charged $50 a day plus taxes on this tiny little note right here. How could you miss that? Now, I go much deeper into this in the full YouTube video, so go watch that after this. But beyond the prices, there's also a major generational shift in Vegas. Gen Z aren't drinking, smoking, or partying as much anymore. In fact, when booking a vacation, they're the most likely generation to search for nature. Yeah, a little different to the inside of a smoke-filled casino. I mean, just look inside the most expensive resort ever built in Vegas. It's completely dead, despite the owner stating that this project was themed to attract a younger crowd. But the ultimate question, after a full week in Vegas, did I and my friends think that this felt like a dying city? Well, not exactly. It felt like a hurting city, most certainly. And the prices of Vegas keep going up. Yeah, it's gonna have more problems to come, but it still attracts over 40 million visitors each year. That's staggering. And Vegas has faced problems like this in the past, and it's reinvented itself, and it definitely needs to once again. But if you go there on a Saturday night, there is nowhere in the world that is quite like it. So if you want to see our full experience and reasoning for saying this, make sure to go check out the full video. A new study has found that raccoons are showing early signs of domestication. Dogs, you may have competition. Now, the study conducted at the University of Arkansas suggests that raccoons living in urban areas in North America are physically changing in response to life around humans. Now, the researchers suggested that domestication starts when wild animals start hanging around humans and adapt on their own, rather than us domesticating them. Dogs hung around ancient garbage piles and cats showed up for the mice that followed. But in this process over hundreds of years, physical changes were also observed: shorter snouts, smaller heads, floppy ears, and white patches of fur. This pattern, which is noted all the way back in the 1800s, is called the domestication syndrome. And raccoons in the Big 25 and before GTA 6 might have that syndrome. Of the 20,000 raccoons observed across the US, researchers discovered that the ones living in the city have shorter snouts than the ones living in rural areas. Bro, what even is this year? Bro, no one saw this coming. Ronaldo and Trump meeting today. Yeah, apparently he's been invited to the White House, but the craziest part is that sources say Ronaldo was the one who requested the meeting. Now, this information comes from a White House correspondent, Jake Traylor, who says that 3 White House officials have confirmed it to him. And it's happening. This would also make sense because also today, the Saudi's crown prince, Mohammed bin Salman, he's expected to go there as well. So maybe ride in the same private jet, who knows. And there's also, coincidentally, all the pieces are kind of adding up. It's just a week after he had an interview with Piers Morgan, and he said that he likes and respects Trump, and that if he gets the chance to speak with him, he'd talk with him about world peace and tell him what they have in common. It's gonna be a busy day. I'll keep you guys updated. Okay guys, some absolutely stunning breaking news. The Prime Minister of Bangladesh, who was in power for over 15 years, has just been sentenced to death. Now, as you guys remember, last year we covered those huge protests that the country had, which ultimately led to the overthrowing of the government and Sheikh Hasina, their prime minister, having to literally flee the country. She's now in India. And we're talking like the protesters broke into her palace, filmed themselves, and they posted online them destroying the place, eating her food from the kitchen. But now, over a year later, a court in Bangladesh has just found her guilty of various crimes against humanity after she ordered a crackdown on those protests, which ultimately led to the death of 1,400 people. And I mean, look at the court breaking into celebration as the death penalty was read out. This is a historic moment in the country's history. Now, Sheikh Hasina has called the court verdict biased and politically motivated. As things develop, I'll keep you guys updated.